Hello and welcome to the third round of the León Cupra Eurocup online. My name's Ed and we're at Estoril for the first semi-final of this third round of the championship. Sorry for the big delay there. Finally, we missed qualifying unfortunately for this semi-final, but we have finally got going. I can tell you that Miguel Balesta is going to start on pole. To the third round of the León Cupra Eurocup online. And that's good for him because let's look at the championship standings very quickly. Balesta is actually in fourth at the moment. In front of him we have Mark Perez on 146 points, Christian Kwiatkowski on 129 points, Pepe de la Harris on 123 points, then it's Balesta on 117. He missed the second final, the reverse qualifying grid race at Silverstone due to there was a bit of a server issue, and unfortunately he didn't get back on in time for whatever reason. That means that after winning the first race, he's lost a lot of points, basically, and that's why he is that's 29 points down on Mark Perez in the lead. Then behind Miguel Balesta, there's Jairo Borges, the American, on 113 points. Then it's Pablo Lopez in 6th on 110. In 7th, it's Andrea Perez on 100. Yeah, Andrea Perez on 95. And then it's Javier Polanco in 8th on 90. Then in 9th, Juan Gerardo on 88 points. And then in 10th on 78 points, we have Antonio Sanchez. We have the likes of Victor Arula, Roberto Gonzalez, Esteban Tellez, Kevin Siggy in 14th. Kevin Siggy, winner of that second race at Silverstone. Second round, of course. Anyway, the race is pretty imminent. You can see the grid forming up now with Balesta at the front. And just remind myself who else, where. Yeah, so it's Andrea Perez in 2nd, Luis Dalmau 3rd, Juan Gerardo 4th on the grid. Then it's Celestino Sanchez, Francisco Ramirez, Roberto Gonzalez, José Fernandez, Jose Rizal, Juan Carlos Romero, Angel Ignacio, and Hiram Denimbe. They are the that is the grid, and that's how many drivers there? We've count 12 drivers in this grid then in the first semi-final. So we won't have to wait long for the start. And Estoril, of course, a classic circuit that's hosted many Grand Prix in the past. So it should be an interesting semi-final in store for us then. Once again, we really apologise about the delay to the broadcast, but the race we're about to see hopefully will make up for that. Anyway, so warm-up lap then, or is has the race started? I think it has started. Yeah, it looks like they're all at full speed then. And it is the formation lap. Sorry, I completely misread that. Of course, no overtaking going on. So we're just warming up the brakes and tyres, and we'll make our way to the grid. Okay, there's a good chance to learn the circuit here. With turns 1 and 2, which are basically medium speed right-handers, not quite 90 degrees. And we're going through turn 3 now. Let me just so they're called curva. That's what they're called, curva 1 and 2 and 3. And now they're going to turn 4, which is the turns 3 and 4 basically two very long hairpins. Turn 4 is called curva VIP, of course. And they go downhill, of course, into turn 5. And then after turn 5 we have turn 6, another hairpin, which is a parabolica interior, of course. Then, and that's a very good overtaking spot, parabolica interior, of course, coming after the straight. And then after parabolica interior we have it goes to the circuit, then goes back uphill to turn 7, which is Orhelia. And following that we have turn 8. And I believe this layout we're using the 2 sets of chicanes. So we have Gancho, which is the first one, turns 9 and 10. And then the S's at 11 and 12. We have another one in the middle of Parabolica and Senna, which is of course the last corner. Literally, from memory, I don't remember too well. We're using that layout today or not, but I believe we are, based on the times. Pole position by Balesta, I believe, was a 1 minute 42.1 as well. Yeah, I think that was right. I definitely saw him set that time. if he went faster. I may have missed that, but it was a really blistering lap time, and he definitely felt he was holding back a little bit. Anyway, they're just going around the Parabolica in the centre right now and onto the start-finish straight, warming up on the grid. You're going to see our first semi-final then. Leicester really needing to have a clean race, get into the final again and make up for the points that he lost last time out at Silverstone. It's weird to say because he did win the first race in Silverstone, which he qualified on pole for as well. Anyway, so it looks like the last couple of cars pulling in at the back now. We'll be getting going at Estoril. Andrew Perez just shifting a bit in the grid slot. And here we go, red lights on now, and in a moment we will be underway. There we go off now, and yep, clean start by Leicester, but it looks like Andrew Perez has got, Louis Dalmau around the outside, I think. Nothing to worry about. Looks like everyone got off the line cleanly into curve 1. And looks to me, yes, Andrew has kept second place from Dalmau, so the order still Leicester, Perez, Dalmau, and then Sanchez has got up to 4th ahead of Gonzalez, and Rada I think has dropped a place there as well. But Leicester really got the start that he wanted there, and it's really Andrew Perez has got his mirrors full of Dalmau at the moment. Of course, Dalmau, another driver I recognise quite well from the Road to Vegas series, Formula E Road to Vegas series, particularly the qualifier in Berlin, where he basically held up a lot of people who see Plus are locking up into that Parabolica interior there they're just going through. So yeah, they're going back uphill now. But yeah, this could be a very interesting fight for the remainder of this 14-lap race. As we see Andrew Perez sliding a little bit through, that must be Orhivia going through now. Oh no, they're into Gancha, the chicane. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see whether Louis Dalmau is going to try and move. We'll see in the Road to Vegas, see the car didn't quite suit him as well, a little bit like Leicester as well. He's sliding all over the place. They go through the chicane in Parabolica in the centre, going back onto the main straight now. And what is Leicster's lead over Andrew Perez? It is, we'll have to see when he crosses the line. It looks to me like at least a second, possibly more. It is, it's 1.7 seconds at the end of the first lap. A standing start of 1 minute 48 by Leicester, that's pretty impressive. And, yeah, I think Leicester's doing everything he needs to do at the moment, and if he just keeps going, then it should be very good. He should be comfortably into the final, but it's really about the remaining 10 places, the remaining 12 finishes, and they finish. I was just a bit confused about what we had there, because usually I think it's the top 15 that make it through to the final. It's 30 spots in the final, of course, so be a little understaffed in the driver department, fortunately. There's what was that? So this is the battle for second place we're watching, which is Perez, Dalmau, Sanchez. Then I think it was Gonzalez in the background who's fighting with Ramirez as well. So there's a battle for second and a battle for 5th. Right now. Ooh, is this Dalmau trying to move down the inside? Ooh, we briefly got ahead there, but Andrew Perez defended quite well as we see the circuit side ambulances there. Yeah, Andrew Perez is really under pressure at the moment and having to pull out every little trick in the book to keep Louis Dalmau behind him. Of course, well, honestly, it really doesn't matter which order these two finish as long as they make it through into the final, but there's always that little bit of psychological advantage, of course, and you never know. In practice, you overtake, and there's always a chance of it going wrong, of course. You overtake that you could take each other out, which is, I'm sure neither of them want to do. But, yeah, it looks like they've been fighting pretty cleanly so far. We go into lap 3. We just lost a visual briefly on the stream, so I'll try and keep you informed and up to speed of what's going on. But Leicester's still leading. Over 3 seconds is the lead on the last lap, so doing a very impressive job at the moment. And as I said, 2 trains, Adria Perez holding up Luis Dalmau, Celestino Sanchez in tow, and Roberto Gonzalez holding up Juan Gerardo and Francisco Ramirez. So Gerardo getting back past Ramirez. Then beyond that we have Jose M. Fernandez, Juan Carlos Romero, Jose Rizal, Angelo Ignacio, and Hiram Denimbe. That is the top 12. So we're watching Ramirez. I'm watching Ramirez right now as he goes into the 2 chicanes. Almost sliding the rear out a little bit there to get the best turn in. Facing Gerardo, Gonzalez as well, who's holding up both of them. It must be said, they are 8 seconds down on the leader. The end of the 3rd lap now, so lap 4 about to start, and I think Leicester will stretch the lead even further now. Let's see how big he can make this. Perez still defending 2nd place. As Luis Dalmau got a good enough tow here, he inches towards the inside, but he's not quite close enough to make a move into curve 1. Perez fends him off. Another lap. If Dalmau is going to get frustrated here, they both seem to be dropping Sanchez now. Is it good for them, I guess? Good for Sanchez, obviously. Into the hairpins, it seems. Yeah, that's a curve VIP. It seems like Dalmau was really able to stay quite close and follow Perez into those corners. As we'll switch back to OCM Fernandez now in 8th. Trying to hold up Juan Carlos Romero in the blue car. Oh, yes, this is Jose Fernandez taking a big trip into the gravel there and losing 2 spots to Romero and Rizal, tripping to 10th. A really bad mistake there into Parabolica Interior. We just got the braking all wrong, and it's very easy to do if you're trying to, especially when you're thinking about too much about defending position, but take very odd lines sometimes, and yeah, but really an unforced error. And but yeah, we switched back to the ban off the 2nd place now. That was a pretty unfortunate moment there for Fernandez, of course, but there's still enough. 5 laps in, there's still we're only about a quarter, no, a third of the way into the race. There's still 2/3 left to go, of course. And Perez continuing to be pressurized Dalmau into the middle stages of the race. Really, for Dalmau, he really just needs to following Perez and maybe pressure him into a mistake, like we saw from Fernandez just the other lap. Getting quite close into Parabolica Interior, actually. Though not really close enough to pull alongside. Or he seems to be trying on the outside, Dalmau. But it didn't quite work out there. There wasn't really an opportunity. About keeping the momentum up. Thinks about maybe on the inside at Gantra, I think. No, Ohilia. This is Gantra we're going into now. So we did see him get quite close on the 1st or 2nd lap. Again, he gets close, but Adria Perez got the line covered, so and got decent speed out of it as well. But yeah, they're still very close together on the circuit. I really don't think Adria Perez can feel comfortable right now to go through Parabolica and Senna to the main straight. Yep, so just a reminder of the order then. Rob Leicester on lap 6 leads by 5.4 seconds, so he's really almost half second a lap, I think, at least faster than Adria Perez. who's just defending like crazy right now. And Andrew Perez has got Louis Dalmau all over the back of him. Following Dalmau, we have Celestino Sanchez 8 seconds down on Balester in the lead. And then it's Roberto Gonzalez, Juan Gerardo. Yes, we are watching Gerardo right behind Gonzalez right now, I think, and making a move down the inside in the green corner. But of course, it changes to the outside for Curva VIP. But yeah, tight battle at turns 3 and 4 there. Gerardo, who actually acquitted himself very well in the reverse grid race at Silverstone. I think finished in the top 6, also in the top 6 now in this semi-final. But yeah, I think just losing out to Heo Borges at the end, he was defending Borges the whole race at Silverstone. I was very impressed by Gerardo, because he didn't do too well in the qualifying grid race, but in the reverse grid he really shone. So, really up to him to try and get past Gonzalez if there's an opportunity, of course. We risk it. Around the corners where Gonzalez is weak and Gerardo's strong. We'll have to see. It seems like the best opportunity might be plunge down the inside into Curva VIP or Curva 3. For the longer, faster corners, it seems that Gerardo is quite able to keep as much momentum. Gap up front, it's Andrew Perez is only 3/10 ahead of Dalmau in the battle for second place, but he's dropped on lap 7, he's dropped to 6.3 seconds down on Balester in the lead, so yeah, I also wonder how much faster Dalmau could go if he could get past Perez here as he locks up, just trying to make sure run into the back of him, doing a free. Yeah, Dalmau also decides not to bother moving up the inside into Curva VIP. It's a very risky move. It's the sort of move that I would try, but probably not what these professional guys would do. And it's Dalmau again positioning himself to the outside for a Parabolica interior. But able to get alongside with the rear spoiler, but not the rear tyres, unfortunately. Moves again to the outside for as he positions himself for Gancho. Seems like Dalmau takes a tighter line into the hell. Oh, has he done it this time? Yes, he has! As they go through the S's. Oh, but it changes back to the outside, and I think Dalmau is going to get pushed out here. Yeah, a little bit. He's actually lost out now. There is really some quite firm defending there with Dalmau along the outside. Pushed him out a little there, but to be honest, I think that was kind of fair. And I don't think Dalmau really could have expected Perez just to give way, but it was a really valiant attempt there by Dalmau. He really took the title line and outsmarted him. Great action there. Well, almost outsmarted us if he didn't get through, of course, but I definitely think Andrew didn't see it coming and then had to kind of react to it. To hear what people's thoughts are on that, of course. But anyway, lap 8. The order, of course, with that defending, Perez has dropped now to 8 seconds behind Balester. Then it's Dalmau in third, of course, close behind. Then 4 seconds back is Celestino Sanchez, followed by Juan Gerardo, who did get by Gonzalez, of course, while we were watching the battle for second place. And then it's Francisco Ramirez in 7th, behind Carlos Ramiro in 8th, Jose Roussel, Jose M. Fernandez still down in 10th after his trip into the gravel earlier. And Hiram Denimbe in 11th, and Angel Ignacio still in 12th. Ignacio, I was wondering if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but if I'm doing it wrong, I apologise, Angel. So, we switched the battle for 4th place now. It's Celestino Sanchez ahead of Juan Gerardo, who's picking up ground, of course. It's pretty impressive. Juan Gerardo has been lately, especially in a defending position, but as we've seen today, making up a few positions too. So getting into 4th place here. 5 laps left to go now as we go into lap 9. Yeah, cap up the battle for second place. Adrian Perez is pulled out 7 tenths ahead of Dalmau at the moment. So that gap could easily close. So again, if the Dalmau tries another move, and as the laps tick down, of course, you see Adrian Perez using all of the road and a little bit of the grass as well. Turn 2, and as we see a position change, I think Corrado has got by Sanchez while we were just watching that second place battle. So I guess another great overtake by Corrado and something we've missed, but that doesn't mean they didn't happen, of course. Corrado only 16 seconds, of course, off Leicester after that slightly poor start, but as we see, another move by Dalmau down the inside Parabolica interior. I think he may have got through here, and I think that's can Perez keep the inside. Let's see to the next corner. Oh, they're side by side. They bump wheels. Oh, this is really tense stuff here. Is Dalmau going to make it? Oh, they bump. Oh, that's very aggressive there. And 4 laps to go. I mean, they are 8 seconds ahead of Corrado, but they've got to be careful. If they fight too much like that, then Corrado could become a factor. So, yeah, really dramatic there. I'm not really sure what to make of it and trying to process what happened. So it seemed like Perez basically Dalmau was taking the racing line. Dalmau called him out into Parabolica interior, and so we had Dalmau down the inside, and then of course for the next corner, which is I'm trying to remember the name of it. Corner after Parabolica interior is called Aurelia, yes, Aurelia, and it looked a bit like Perez was trying to. He knew the outside from the previous corner becomes the inside for the next corner, but Dalmau really just stuck it out there, bumping into him. He was really able, because he was far enough alongside, of course, he was able to keep the position from his overtake. So, yeah, it was really impressive stuff by Dalmau. He really set the move up quite well, and even though a little bit aggressive, seemed to handle it really well. So anyway, we're just about to start lap 10 then, and the lead. They have a massive lead, over 10 seconds now over Dalmau. Don't quite see Dalmau overcoming the deficit in the laps remaining. Sorry, but and Dalmau is far ahead of Adrian Perez, at least 4 tenths per second, I think. Corrado in 4th. Celestino Sanchez and Roberto Gonzalez having a great battle at the moment in 4th place. 5th place rather. Corrado's in 4th, obviously. But yeah, I think that seems to just resolve itself, because it looks like Gonzalez is quite a way ahead of Sanchez. So I'm not sure if Sanchez made a mistake there that let Gonzalez through, or was this the little glitch on the timing screen. And anyway, behind them in 7th place is Francisco Ramirez, and Carlos Ramiro in 8th. Jose Rizal in 9th, Lucian Fernandez in 10th, Hiram Denimbe in 11th, and Angel Ignacio in 12th. I believe Angel Ignacio almost a lap down now, so worrying for him, I guess. But depends on what Lester's pace is throughout the rest of the race, whether he's going to catch him. I don't think he'll hold him up too much, especially knowing the way Lester likes to handle traffic, just be by siding through it. Yeah, it doesn't need to be apart from the battle for second place. I think the gaps on track seem to have widened out a little bit. Ramiro is still quite close to Rizal though. Battle for 8th. He's about 6 tenths behind Rizal, about 6 tenths behind Ramiro. See if Rizal can put on a move. And in the battle for second, Dalmau is He's about a second down on Fabio Perez now, so down now, really, as I suspected, now he's gotten through, he's showing better pace. Sort of, let's see what his downhill lap times are. He's at 1:43.7 on the last lap. But Leicester was yeah, I think he's a little bit slower than Leicester still, but the times are fairly stable. The gap's very stable. Yeah, we're watching Ramiro in 8th now. With Rosell just behind actually, so. Yeah, so I think he's literally just made a move on him while I was paying attention. Or he's defended from Rosell, I think. I don't remember the goldfish here. They're still very close on track together. Rosell in the dark blue car and Ramiro, yeah, bright blue car. León Eurocup car, obviously. The Cancho chicane. The ski marks the rear tyre for Ramiro, but he gets the braking right about spot on there. Very good exit. That puts a bit more daylight between himself and Rosell behind him. As Ramirez got by Romero, just ahead of him, I wonder. Or was Ramirez already ahead? Yeah, I think he was already ahead, so. Yeah, Sanchez definitely was dropped back in this race. He's now showing he's in 7th. It was a real shame for him because it looked like there was a good chance to get higher up the order, but of course tomorrow he's got another chance in the final. Yeah, we're still on the penultimate lap as Rosell is still very close to Romero in 8th. I think potentially there could be an overtake there before the race is over. Leicester still leading quite comfortably, and yeah, I think about to start the last lap. It's been a really peerless drive, as good as any you'll see from Nicola Leicester when we want to replicate in the final tomorrow. Obviously, you want to replicate his qualifying pace as well. Yeah, a great chance to fight back in the championship and make up for the points he lost due to any fault of his own. Of course, he got disconnected and couldn't get back into the server. He will have a lot of computer troubles lately, so relate to that. Yeah, switching back to Ramiro in 8th, defending from Rosell. Rosell has only got one more lap to make a move on Ramiro. We see someone entering the pit lane. I think that's either Ignacio or Denimbe, probably Denimbe, as we see. Yes, Ramiro really under pressure here, and is Rosell going to be close enough to the inside for turn 2? Not quite, you have to back out there. Yeah, it looks like the lapped cars are really having to go into the pit lane to make way for the leaders. Can't be long now until Leicester crosses the line to win. But yeah, Rosell really weaving and looking for any little advantage or gap he can use to get by. As he comes through the last corner, parallel Gurritsen and now Leicester is going to cross the line and win the first semi-final at Estoril for the 3rd round of the León Cupra Eurocup online. A really peerless drive. Look at that, 58.409 kilometers. Just under half an hour as well. Well, 2 minutes under half an hour to be precise. Louis Dalmau finishes 2nd. Atrio Pros in third. Great battle between the two of them. They put on a good show for us. It was good to see. Ran Gerardo versus now in fourth, which is probably the best I've seen him finish in at least not in a final, in a semi-final, definitely. Roberto Gonzalez is in fifth, Francisco Ramirez in sixth. Just crossing now as we see Rosell and Ramirez fight side by side across the start-finish straight, and I think Rosella's done it. He's taken an 8th place at the death. Ramirez will be a little bit peeved at that, but they will both make it through tomorrow. So Francisco Ramirez 6th, Celestino Sanchez in 7th, Jose Rizal in 8th. Really opportunistic move, I guess. Out of the chicane at the end, Ramirez must have got a very bad run. And that was what Rizal took advantage, got down the inside, and yeah, nothing much that could really do about that. But Ramirez in 9th, Jose M. Fernandez 10th, Angel Ignacio 11th, and Beninde 12th. No retirements. It was good to see. Beninde 2 laps down at the end, though. I guess having to make that pit stop wouldn't have helped, but Ignacio only 1 lap down, so the rest must have got by both of them. Their best laps were in the 47s, so to put that in perspective, the Leicester's best lap was in the race was a 142.3, which was 5 seconds faster. But anyway, they all return to the pit lane now. Yeah, that's not all. That's of course that was the first semi-final. We have the second one coming up at 3:30 p.m. UK time, which probably amounts to different time where you are. We in UK are an hour ahead, so that would be in most places in Europe. That would be would be 2 p.m. for you guys. Say Spain or France or Germany or wherever. Yeah, but anyway, Milgro blessed the victor in this first semi-final, but join us later on for the second semi-final at León Cupra Eurocup online. See you soon. Thanks for watching.